राम कली महला पहला। जग पर बोधे मणि बदावे, आसन त्याग काहे सच पावे। ममता मोह कामण हितकारी, नाव तूती न संसारी। जोगी बैस रहो दुविधा दुख पागे, कर कर मांगत लाज न लागे। राव O yogi, you're telling the people to leave their homes, go to jungles for worship, whereas you are constructing abodes of worship, much yourself. How could you enjoy the bliss of life by leaving and discarding your own place through realization of truth by such means, O yogi? You are engrossed in worldly attachments, love of your devotees, love of your body, love of other folks. As such, you are neither a mendicant nor a householder. What could you gain? You are not ashamed of begging for alms from house to house. Why do you not stick to one place with peace of mind, ridding yourself of the pangs of dual-mindedness, and engage yourself in Vaheguru's worship? Pause. गावे गीत न चीने आप, क्यों लागी निवरै परताप। गुर कै शब्द रचै मन पाए, भिख्या सहज विचार खाए। पसम चढ़ाए करहै पाखंड, माया मोह सहजम दंड। फूटै खापर पीख न पाए, बंधन बांधया आवे जाए। How could you emancipate yourself from fire burning within of enjoying vicious and sinful actions by singing songs only without gaining self-realization? You could get rid of love of fire of worldly pleasures by meditating on God's true name in the state of equipoise, by inculcating the love of Guru's word in your heart. This is the right path for your begging of alms. You have smeared your body with ash and are engrossed in formal rituals for showing off your worldly detachment. You will have to face the punishment at the hands of Yama, being engrossed in love of Maya and worldly falsehood. People whose begging bowl is broken, who is bereft of God's love, could not expect to gain Guru's guidance as alms. In fact, such a person would be passed through a cycle of birth and death due to this worldly bondage. बिंद न राखे जति कहावे, माई मांगत त्रय लुभावे। झूठो खेल खेलै बहन टुआ, अंतर अगन चिंता बहु जारे। बिन कर्मा कैसे उतरस पारे, मुंदरा फटक बनाई कान। मुकत नहीं विद्या विज्ञान, जीवा इंद्री साध लुभाना। पशु भय नहीं मिटै निशाना। O yogi, you call yourself a celibate while you cannot preserve your semen and are engrossed in the love of woman from whom you are begging alms. You cannot get God's enlightenment of your mind as you are devoid of kindness and mercy. You are drowning yourself in the abyss of worldly bondage without gaining anything fruitful. O yogi, you are involved in falsehood and are showing off your detachment, though fully engrossed in worldly attachment, and are enacting various shows of a magician. How could you gain salvation when you are burning within your inner self with love of Maya, wealth, and possessions? O yogi, you are wearing earrings of glass in your ears, but without the knowledge of God's secrets, one cannot attain salvation by such means. You are engaged in the acts of sins and vices, of satisfying your hunger like animals with the love of worldly and sensual pleasures, including taste of the tongue. How could you get away from the fruits of your earlier misdeeds? त्रिभिद लोका त्रिभिद जोगा, शब्द विचारे चूकस सोगा, ऊजल साच सो शब्द होए, जोगी जुगत विचारे सोए। तुझ पै नौ निद तू करणे जोग, थाप थापे करे सो हो। जत सत संजम सच सुचीत, नानक जोगी त्रिपवन मीत। There are three types of people, good, average and bad, who are engrossed in the three-pronged Maya with lust for power, greed, jealousy and peace. But only those people engaged in meditation of God could get away from worldly suffering. People who follow Guru's guidance get their heart fulfilled through Guru's word, as they alone are true yogis being engaged in meditation of God to attain truth. O yogi, try to realize the God Almighty, the benefactor of all the 9 worldly treasures, who is abiding within yourself. The God could create and destroy this universe as it pleases him, and whatever happens in the world is as per his will. O Nanak, the yogi who practices celibacy, truth, and a disciplined life, worshipping the God by reciting true name, is the true friend and beloved of the whole world, of the 3 worlds, and such a yogi perceives the world and God pervading in all the beings. Ram Kali Mahalla Pehla, खट मट देहि मन बैरागी, सुरत शब्द तुन अंतर जागी। वाजय अनहद मेरा मन लीना, गुरबचनी सच नाम पतीना। प्राणी राम भगत सुख पायै, गुरमुख हर हर मीठा लागै। हर हर नाम समायै राम. This mind is like a detached yogi within this human body with the 6 circles around aspects of life, and is imbued with the love of true God by focusing on Guru's word. My mind is immersed in all pervasive unstrung music of nature in my heart through Guru's word. O human, O yogi, we could enjoy the bliss of life through the worship of God as we get imbued with love of true name of God through Guru's grace and benevolence, and thus we get immersed in true name. Pause. Maya moh bivraj samaye, Satguru petai mel milaye. Naam ratan nirmol हीरा, तितराता मेरा मन धीरा। हों में ममता रोग न लागे, राम भगत जम का पाँव पागे। जम जंदार न लागे मोए, निर्मल नाम हृदय हर सोए। शब्द विचार भय निरंकारी, गुरमत जागे दुर्मत परहारी। अनदिन जाग रहे लिवलाई, जीवन मुक्त गत अंतर पाई. Our mind and other senses get attuned to, immersed in true God by ridding ourselves of the love of Maya, the worldly falsehood, as we have been united with God through the company of true Guru. We have attained peace and tranquility of mind by inculcating love of true name in our heart, as the nectar of true name is invaluable jewel of life. By imbibing love of true name, we could cast away the afflictions of egoism and worldly attachment, and with God's worship, the fear of Yama is also thrown off. When I was imbued with the love of God's true name in my heart, I was exempted from punishment of Yama. By meditating on Guru's word, we have become embodiment of formless God. We have been enlightened with Guru's guidance, ridding ourselves of evil designs of self-mindedness, Thus, we have attained the path of the salvation within our inner self by inculcating the love of God in our heart all the time. अलिपत गुफा में रहे निरारे, तस्कर पंच शब्द संघारे, पार कर जाए न मन डोलाए, सहज निरंतर हो समाए, गुरमुख जाग रहे हो तूता, सत बैरागी तत्परोता, जग सूता मर आवे जाए, बिन गुर शब्द न सूझी पाए. We remain detached from worldly bondage by abiding in silence, away from the world by casting away the 5 thieves like wanton desires from this mind. Thus we do not wander around by forsaking the love of God, and we remain immersed in true God effortlessly in the state of equipoise all the time. Guru-minded people, they remain awakened from the slumber of ignorance, and they attain perfection through worldly detachment by imbibing love of God. The whole world is engrossed in darkness of ignorance, lying asleep with the light of knowledge and going through cycle of births and deaths. No one could realize the true God without Guru's guidance through Guru's word. अनहद शब्द वजय दिन राती, अविगत की गत गुरमुख जाते, तौ जानी जा शब्द पछानी, एको रव रहया निर्बानी, सुन समाद सहज मन राता, तज हो लोभाए को जाता, गुर चेले अपना मन मानिया, नानक दूजा मेट समानिया. The Guru-minded people who have realized God's secrets hail the all-pervasive music of nature all the time. They have attained the God by following Guru's word, and they have realized the God is pervading everywhere in equal measure. By concentrating and meditating in the state of bliss, equipoise and silence on true God, we worship Him by ridding ourselves of our egoism and greed. O Nanak, when the devotees get immersed in teachings and guidance of the Guru, then one gets united with God, casting away two-mindedness. By following Guru's guidance, we have attained God. Ram Kali Mahalla Pehla, Saha Gane न करे विचार, साहे ऊपर ही कंकार, जिस गुर मिले सोई बिद जाने, गुरमत होए ता हुकुम पछाणे, झूठ न बोल पांडे सच कहिए, हों में जाए शब्द कर लहिए, राव गण गण जो तक कांडी कीनी, पढ़े सुनावे तत न चीनी, सब से ऊपर गुर शब्द विचार, होर कथने बदो ना सगली चार. O Pandit, you are considering all the details of good fortune through phases of moon, but you are not considering meditation of God who is above all these. In fact, person who is united with the Guru knows the true path of attaining God. One could follow and understand God's will through Guru's guidance only. O Pandit, you have made a detailed study of astrological phenomena and forward a list with various considerations and calculations, which you are reading yourself and making others also to listen to it, believing without realizing the truth. The deliberation of Guru's word Shabad is the highest attainment as compared to all other efforts. I do not consider all other stories any worth. They are useless like dust and ash. नावे तो वे पूजे सैला, बिन हर राते मेलू मेला, गर्भ निवार मिले प्रभ सारथ, मुकत प्राण जप हर कीर्तारथ, वाचय वाद न वेद विचारै, आप डूबे क्यों पितरा तारै, कट कट ब्रह्म चीने जन कोय, सतगुर मिले तसुजी होय. O Pandit, you're having a bath, washing clothes, and worshipping stones, but without inculcating love of God in your heart. This is filthy, unclean. You could unite with God by casting away your egoism with full realization. If you want to attain salvation, you should recite true name of that blissful God. O Pandit, you are engrossed in worldly wrangles but not deliberating on the knowledge in Vedas. How could the drowning man save his forefathers by rituals? Hardly anyone realizes that God is pervading everywhere. It is only through Guru's guidance that one could realize the truth. गणत गणिय सहसा दुख जिय गुर की शरण पवै सुख थिय कर अपराध शरण हम आया गुर हर भेटे पुरख कमाया गुर शरण न आय ब्रह्म न पाय परम भुलाय जन्म मर आय जम दर बाधो मरे बिकार न हृदय नाम न शब्द चार. If we get involved in various calculations, astrological, and then we feel the pangs of doubts and miscalculations, whereas we could enjoy perfect bliss by seeking refuge at lotus feet of Guru. O true Master, we have sought your support after committing many sins. With Guru's grace, we could get united with the God in case we are fortunate enough and predestined by God's will. We cannot attain God till we seek the support of the Guru and continue to pass through cycle of births and deaths. If we are lost in whims and dual-mindedness, this human being is thrown at the doors of Yama, chained in worldly bondage due to vicious actions, and this human has neither recited true name nor has meditated on Guru's word. Ik बांधे पंडित मिसर कहावै दुबिधा राते महल न पावै जिस गुरु पर सादी नाम धार कोट मधे को जन आपार एक बुरा पला सचै कै भूज ज्ञानी सतगुर की टेकै गुरमुख विरली को जानिया आवण जाना मीत समानिया जिनके हृदय कंकार सर्वगुणी साचा विचार गुर के पाणे कर्म कमावै नानक साचे साथ समावै. There are some Pandits giving demarcations for perfect and pure kitchens, or those teaching grammar to others, where are some others with average knowledge are known as Misr, but those people with dual-mindedness, they are engrossed in sinful actions, they do not attain God. They are hardly a very few people out of millions who are actually blessed with Guru's grace, who have gained support of true name. There is only one true God who sustains both virtues in bad people, but this is realized by few learned ones only who have Guru's support. There are few Guru-minded people who have attained the God by getting free from cycle of births and deaths. People who are imbued with love of God, sublime the heart, they are truly virtuous with the meditation of true God. O Nanak, people who function and act under dictates of God's will, they get merged with the true God finally.